I'm not a big generals guy. Like if you want me to take a conversation seriously, we gotta talk on the interpersonal level. You know this about me, but I don't really care about the big picture. Not that I don't care. It's just like I'm so insignificant to it, right? But when I'm having a one-on-one and someone asks me like, "Oh, are you a feminist?" My immediate reaction is okay. It's like, okay, what does that mean? Like, what's a feminist to you? And they say like, "Oh, equality amongst the sexes." I'm like, yeah, I would consider myself that. If you say like, "Oh, burning men to the stake," I'm like, nah, it's not my favorite pastime.
Okay, but see the problem, like those people are the problem because like this is not what feminism is. Like we've completely diverged from the actual meaning of it, from what people initially stood for.
Because
I look very ugly today.
Today, you look the same as you do every day.
Chill out. I know it was pretty to you, but I have a different way of seeing it.
I think I look dashing.
You do, with your little polo and little shirt.
Yeah, I look so much richer than I actually am.
And I look so much more like a kid than you do. It really looks like dad and daughter here. Well,
for really... daddy.
No.
Nor. I was actually really, really scared of re-listening to it because I'm not gonna lie, when we finished recording last week, I was like, this is shit. I'm a nervous wreck. I suck. The conversation went nowhere. I went really down a terrible rabbit hole. So the entire week, the entire week, I was just like postponing it and working on other things. And then finally on Friday, I started like going through it and editing it. I'm just like, holy shit, this is kind of good.
I'm so like, what were you scared of?
I noticed that I was, so I notice a lot of people's are very surprised when I tell them I'm a very anxious person, because apparently I don't show it. Like I take that feedback and I just roll with it. Like this, it's like a fact that I know, but I don't entirely fully believe. Mm-hmm. Like I know that's how people perceive me, but I've got to be showing that I'm really nervous. I'm listening to myself, and I remember how I felt while recording pretty much the entire time. And then while I was listening to myself, I'm just like, that's a confident motherfucker. You know?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you don't look anxious at all.
I'm a goddamn actor. I'm a faker. I'm a liar. My life's a lie.
Let's fake it until you make it.
Until I become it.
Until you believe, until you gaslight yourself.
Yeah, I gotta brainwash myself.
No, it's just like practice.
Sorry.
Lately, I've been loving doing those little troll laughs. Gnome laugh. Like
lately. That's how you laugh.
No, I feel like I've been doing this even more lately. Because I took it from someone. I hate it. Like, I listened to somebody. Mimic her. Like, I heard somebody laugh like this. I really like it. I'm like, oh, her laugh is so cute. And then...
That's cute. You're like, no, you hear someone laugh, they're like, and you're like, that's so cute.
No, she does it in a cute way. And I was like, oh. And then one day I was laughing and I was like, oh my god, I'm doing like her. It's not okay. I can't do it like her. Like, I don't want to be someone who copies somebody else. And I'm like, whatever, I'll do it. I'll put my own spin on it.
What's the original laugh?
I don't know.
Nice. Cool.
What?
Awesome. Awesome. I unfortunately, so I used to, so Bree sometimes would laugh like that, just sometimes, and I would make fun of her. But I made fun of her so many times that's my laugh. Yeah. That's one of my laughs.
This is why I have the Quebec accent now.
Pal? You don't have a Quebec accent.
No, sometimes, like, I do it ironically so many times that sometimes I'm just like, oh, shit. You don't hear it.
It's natural.
But...
Well, because we don't speak French together.
But, yeah. But also because probably you speak with the Quebecois accent, so it's harder for you to, I guess, perceive it.
I flip into French as well. It becomes more neutral. It really depends who I'm talking to.
But for you, Quebecois is the baseline.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Burp number 1.
See, I ate this morning, so get ready.
Welcome to the second episode of Jelly.
Exclamation point. Oh no, there's no exclamation point.
Well, there's nothing yet. I mean, I got the Gmail set up.
What? I love how professional you are about it.
Super.
What are you gonna use a Gmail for?
Well, you need a Gmail for a YouTube account.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I could have used mine, but yeah, I don't want to.
Alright.
What is this? This is a grand show, very educative, where two professionals speak about the world. You'll know the truth.
With knowledge on every single subject that we...
Especially politics.
T. Microphone?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, while I was looking through the recordings, I realized I found a nice little subject, a little fun thing that we glossed over.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you would be interested in talking about it.
Go ahead. Why is it so... am I supposed to be scared? Because you're all like... Tipitos!
I feel like I'm walking on eggshells here, okay?
Really?
No. I want to talk about... Wait, it's the immediate word that comes to mind is not the word I want to use. Fuck it, I'll use it. Fat phobia.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
Why don't you want to use that word? Is it because it's not exactly what you want to talk about, or you don't like it?
Well, that fat phobia is a very specific pocket of, like... I want to talk about...
Body perception?
Yeah, body perception.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. You're so professional.
I can read
PR got you right.
Political correct. Woke-ism.
Woke-ism. Let's go. Hashtag woke-ism. Bring it back, y'all. Okay, wait. I don't want to start another subject. I heard something recently, but maybe we'll go to that afterwards. But, so one of my pickup lines from...
Oh my god, you know what? Okay, yesterday I was thinking about it, and I was like, you're gonna say your pickup line, and then I'm gonna tell the worst pickup line I've ever heard in my whole life.
Oh, yeah? That you received?
Said to me. Yeah. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting.
Okay,
Because I don't know if I've ever told you.
Maybe you did, but we'll see.
I'm gonna need tissues. Sorry. No, it's fine. It's really,
Nice.
it's like literally right there. Thank you so much. Oh my god, listen to me. I'm not doing max potential blow nose, but
What did you just say?
I'm not doing my max potential nose blowing. I could be chunkier if you want.
I'm barely okay with this.
This is burning, FYI. You can feel the heat. Ah, this
What?
is metal.
Yeah.
Jay, this should not be here.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like it could burn. Could it?
Not off of 25 degrees.
Okay. Oh.
So it was a lie. We're actually very much not educated on anything, especially not chemistry. No, you. Okay.
I am.
Yeah. I know so much about candles.
This is not.
It's chemistry. It's combustion reaction.
My like specialty. You know, in high school we had to choose one subject.
Oh, you've told me this, yeah. Oh, but
right, in which we were gonna have like more hours than usual, and that would be our one subject, and mine was like physics and chemistry.
were you good at it?
I was exceptionally good.
I believe you.
Thank you.
We didn't have that. We just.
Well,
Oh, I had art.
Okay,
Yeah.
classic. Yeah.
Can you tell I'm an artsy person?
So there's a scientist here, somebody who's fact-based, and then there's somebody who just rolls with life
And we're gonna talk about
and employment.
We're gonna talk about body perception and health, of which I know so much about. So much.
Health is definitely gonna be me. It's closer to chemistry.
No, I was being facetious. I was being sarcastic.
Okay.
So what you brought up, if I remember correctly, was that apparently I can't joke. I can't make a pickup line to the expense of someone's weight, and I wanted
It's frowned upon.
It's frowned upon.
Let's say.
I want to know. I guess I'm just more curious, like where the lines are.
Right.
Of like what's okay and what's not okay.
I really think it depends people, but because you don't know the person that you're gonna talk to, you should just set your limits like super super close to whatever you're gonna say.
So let's say I'm goofing around with Shane.
Okay.
Right. Shane, our best pal, who
we haven't talked to this month. Can you clip this and then
we all DM him.
Shane, you didn't come to my birthday. I'm really sad. Moving on.
Petty. So let's say we're goofing around. He's calling me Asian. I don't care. And he's just like, oh, I'm a fat fuck. So I'm just like, oh, I can indulge in this too.
Right.
And I call him a fat fuck. And he's just like, hee hee ha ha. Now I don't know for sure if that actually hurts him.
With this exact
This was exactly a conversation we had. It was, you're Asian. I'm a fat fuck. You're a fat fuck. Hee hee ha ha. That's exactly how that went.
Classic Shane.
So, like, in my perception, that if the other person kind of allows it to be okay, I also don't believe in, like, explicit, like, when someone's, like, safe space type of explicits, like, okay, these are the things we got to talk about. That. I feel like it just breaks the flow of genuine conversation. I feel like it's okay to make mistakes, and like let's say I'm talking to someone who's like gender fluid, and I use the wrong pronouns or whatever, and they call me out. I'll just stop. I'll respect them and I'll try to adapt to that.
Mm-hmm.
But like if I meet someone and we have to establish like all of these ground rules, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, no one's gonna do that. I feel like no, or it's gonna be very
very rare people are gonna do that.
It's gonna be, it's not gonna be perceived that's super positive. Like I mean,
I mean
it's good for you. I feel like you should be that if there are a lot of things that potentially can be
harmful to you.
Yeah.
Well, in my head, and maybe I'm just an asshole, but in my head it's like, if there's so many things that affect you, how much, like, I feel like a big part of that is your responsibility to deal with and not the world to adapt to you, right?
I don't know.
You can give a forewarning. There's some things that are very, like, really, really heavy and are, like, a big work in progress, or I don't believe this, but there's probably, like, sections that are very much unredeemable. Like whatever you do, you can't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that, but I'm sure that there's like that's a reality for some people. But I think a lot of people are also, the first word that comes to mind is lazy, or they don't want to put the effort to change within themselves. Like they kind of have the expectation that society has to adapt to them, and of course it's just a balance of things. Like obviously society can do so much better, but a person that has control over themselves should have that autonomy to fit in, and fit in is there's connotations of negativity and positivity. That's what I'll say on that. Now, relying it back to body image, I've never seen or heard of a case where someone is just like, hi, I'm insert name here. Do not say anything about, don't say anything fatphobic, right?
Yeah. The chances of that happening are very slim.
Yeah. But like you said, thinking about it, like nobody openly like goes around.
I feel like it's like super woke people who really believe in like, well, I feel like woker people do that, right?
They're gonna come after
my
you.
people.
Your people are gonna.
They're my people.
They're gonna come after.
And
you.
I'm like, it's totally like I kind of agree with them, because sometimes you know that you're walking into a crowd that potentially is very, well, your opinion really diverged from theirs.
Yeah, well, here's my take on that, assuming that I understand the situation properly. If you know, I don't know what's the situation where you're walking into a group of people that are just very disagreeing with you, but if you know that's what you're going into, I feel like you have to go with the flow. It's unfortunate, but you.
So if it's the whole group, okay, but like if you're meeting, so I agree with you that when you're with the whole group, you're the minority, so you have to adapt. But if you're with one person who they actually want to connect with you in that moment.
Oh yeah.
Then you have to set your boundaries.
Yeah, it's I guess it's an art too. Like there's a way to say to. Because I feel like you can say it to come off like a control freak or like someone who's just pissy.
Yeah.
And it just, especially when you start the conversation like that, it just sets the tone. Like you can recover from that, but it just sets the tone so.
It won't make the
awkwardly.
other person want to talk with you because they're like, oof, I have to tiptoes around like so many subjects.
Yeah, but it's not just that. There's also like a big stigma towards wokeism in this day and age. And they're kind of in this like ever changing like political correctness in this economy. No, but like everybody who's woke / activist, blah blah blah, SJW, they're all bunched in the same place. Like you could be like a woke ecologist, you could be an environmentalist, you could be a woke gender identity, body positivity, but they're all like put in the same boat because like those loud people on the internet and on TikTok, they're fucking batshit insane. Okay, and it's just giving like a bad, and that goes for anything, right? You've got people on the complete like other side, like red pill and stuff like that are just they're stretching to the extremes, right? And it just gives a bad image on that. But the thing with wokeness is, let's say you don't give a shit about the environment, you don't give a shit about like gender identity, you just care about like body positivity. The moment you say like or you establish that it's a sensitive topic, like I would imagine that people's perception of you are immediately like, oh, this is some woke, accept like, everyone tainted. Yeah, exactly. So it's just like it's
annoying.
It's a terrible it's an
exactly
awkward
because like I feel that way.
Yeah,
like I feel like you know 100%.
When you go up to people, you're just like, don't make fun of this. And they're just like, you goddamn.
By the way,
you libtard.
No, but it's honestly annoying. It's annoying because I can pretty much see it on people's face whether we're gonna agree on things or not.
Yeah.
And it's especially boys, especially because it's harder to find guys that will agree with most of what you say than girls. Yeah. Because we go through more similar like battles than I would with guys.
Oh yeah.
Except like gay guys maybe, or like.
Yeah, it doesn't help that like everybody's just like there's like this tribalism, like it's one against the other. Like how can I connect to you if we have bad perceptions on each other, right? Yeah. But like the thing is like I feel like it's this pendulum, right? Because the girl doesn't understand, the guy doesn't understand, and they just like. I feel like the more this goes on, the more they separate, and there's just less communication, less
but I feel like you have to be objective about these situations. Like you can't be like, oh, this guy hurt me, so all guys are pigs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that's what. What? No, like I'm not like that. I'm not like that because I do feel that that's like the base for like gender separating, like men and women being pit against each other, just like separating based on like nothing. Like I'm always like whatever man I have in front of me, I'll go with it. I'm not gonna set bad expectations for everyone. Yeah. Like I try to believe the best in people, but sometimes like you know. When I met you, I was like, I think he's a good one. Which is why we became friends.
How about now?
And now
we're ex-colleagues.
Well, now I'm I don't know how to.
Has my impression augmented or degraded in the years?
What?
So okay. So what I guess what I'm asking is like when.
I need to blow my nose. It's gonna be bad, probably. Sing.
No, weird. Oh my god! That was Campbell's chunky soup right there.
Chunky.
Oh, I felt that.
You're welcome. Listen, I was sick all week, actually. I was really sick all week. Now I'm better.
It's only the end of it.
It's the end.
I'm not
it's
contagious.
actually the end.
You say that every time. You're lucky I'm a fucking...
No, but it actually is the end. And it's a subject I'll talk about after. Because, like, there's a very, like...
specific.
Cute lore.
Okay.
It's not that
Sick, and cute
There's
are definitely...
a sick lore.
Looking forward to it. What was I saying?
My impression of you.
Yeah. So I feel like when you first meet someone, you immediately like attach an archetype, right? Or like you have like these expectations from the get-go. Now you can not believe them, but I feel like we establish like an expectation.
I put you in a box.
Yeah.
I have several boxes for men.
Yeah. I don't judge men, but like they're very much in specific boxes. Women are all over the place.
They are. And like every box does not, if you're in a box, it doesn't mean you go exactly.
How many boxes are there?
There's a lot of boxes.
That's specific.
Huh?
That's so specific.
No, I guess like there are like 6.
Wait, I'm curious. What are the 6 boxes?
They're like, I don't know, like the super annoying like alpha male with all the ism, you know, like sexism.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Misogynism.
Racist, whatever, blah, 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 right? There's that super further box. And then there's one where it's like, you're not actively fighting for these, but you've been raised that way and you're not smart enough to like move away from those. You know what I mean? There's a box of the guys that don't care. They're just totally unaware. They don't participate in anything, so they're done. There's the box of the guys who it's just like progressively getting rid of some of the things I don't like. You know what I mean? It's just like a spectrum-ish.
Yeah. It's a six-tier spectrum.
Yeah.
I would assume
I only deal with the 2 last boxes. Like, if you're in the 2 last boxes, then I'm gonna hang around.
But I'm a misogynist and a racist and
no, you're not.
What was the other one?
Sometimes, well,
I'm a homophobist.
Okay. I think you're in the 3rd box.
I had to recalculate what that meant.
Actually,
was
second or 3rd? No, second. I don't know. Second. I don't know. Somewhere.
So I'm a misogynist, but I'm too dumb to recognize it.
No. No. It's just there are certain opinions that we don't agree on. Certain things we don't agree on. And I'm like, oh.
You heard it here first, folks.
It's also like it's a woke scale. Like the last box is like
your male scale is a woke scale.
Definitely.
Bruh. Imagine your entire person. Oh, can I say I think you're the only person in my life who's unironically call themselves woke. When you said that,
Jules are woke.
They don't call themselves woke.
Well, what else are they gonna call themselves?
They have certain opinions, but woke has such a.
It's because.
It's a packed.
It's because
term.
the people against us have tried to like tarnish the name.
I think the people with you have tarnished the name.
No.
Yes.
No.
Dude, some people say some dumbass shit. All right, it's
I know.
not representative.
I know.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, the other side, they're all like, ew, those people are woke. The rest of them are shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing as feminists. So certain groups of feminists, they go in the streets, top naked, and they write.
Where?
In France. There's like actually it's not, I think it started in France and in several countries it's called the Femen.
I gotta visit France.
And they go outside top naked and they have like stuff written on their chest. They'll be like,
I'll make sure to read it.
blah blah blah, rapist, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like or like they'll paint like blood on them or like on their neither region to like shock people. It's like extreme feminism.
Yeah.
And like
I'll take part.
Guys will see that and they're like, feminism. This is what feminism is. And they're like, you know, I don't want to be called a feminist because like they're too extreme. And I'm like, this is extreme. It's the same thing as if you're saying, no, I don't want to be called a leftist because like, no, I don't want to be called right wing because they're racist. And I'm like, they're racist and they're Nazis. And I'm like, that's not what left wing is.
Yeah.
That's like the extreme.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's so easy and it's so convenient for everyone to say like, oh, feminists and woke people, they're so extreme. They like this. You can't say anyone around, you can't say anything around them. You can't say blah, blah, blah. Like, it's so easy, it's so convenient. And so they're like, yeah, woke is this, and I don't like it.
I think it, like, I'm not a big generals guy. Like, if you want me to take a conversation seriously, we gotta talk on the interpersonal level. You know this about me, but I don't really care about the big picture. Not that I don't care. It's just like I'm so insignificant to it, right? But when I'm having a one-on-one and someone asks me like, "Oh, are you a feminist?" my immediate reaction is okay. It's like, okay, what does that mean? Like, what's a feminist to you? And they say like, oh, equality amongst the sexes. I'm like, yeah, I would consider myself that. If you say like, oh, burning men to the stake, I'm like, no, it's not not my favorite pastime.
Okay, but see the problem, like those people are the problem because like this is not what feminism is. Like we've completely diverged from the actual meaning of it, from what people initially stood for. Well, and they turned it into something that a lot more people are going to be against, which is not helping the cause.
Yeah, well, I feel like with every wave, there was some change to it. I think after the third wave, that's when things got a bit... I think also a lot of just woke stuff, I was saying earlier, like people are bunched up together, but I think in reality, a lot of people that are woke do bunch a lot of these different issues together to unite as one against like, and there's some good in that, there's some solidarity in that. It's just when you mix problems with problems, where do you put the priority on what to fix, right? Because you only have so much energy to you know, so it's weird. It's a weird thing in my head at the very least.
I think before woke got this bad reputation or got attributed this like negative side to it, initially it was literally just we're aware of the problems and we're gonna be the ones standing up for everyone else. Yeah, like to me it's now woke isn't just LGBT or like women or for racism, blah blah blah. Like for me it's just we stand against inequality and we're gonna do so for every aspect of like whatever in the society that's unfair. Yeah, so it's like this gigantic bubble, and to me like everyone is woke. Everyone is woke if you're against those. Well,
let me ask you this, because it woke is just a funny word to me. What does woke mean? Because woke literally means awake, right? Okay. And to me that's it.
If you're aware, you're awake. You're aware of the inequality and you're against it.
That's so funny, because the complete other side, you're familiar with the red pill space, right? The whole point of the red pill is to know the truth. So it's so funny that both sides claim that they know the truth, but they're so contradictory to it. Now, of course, we're talking about the extreme sides of people that merge towards the middle. Is a bit more ambiguous, but I find that very... Yeah. It's funny. It's
But to crazy. Me, woke was the never extreme. It was literally just, oh, I'm against this and I'm against that, because it's just basic human principles. It's just basic human rights. So to me, it was never extreme. It's just that, I don't know. Because society moves on, because humans evolve, we allow more things to diverge from the
current norm.
Yeah. Yeah. Like trans people. Yeah. And now there's going to be more of like, now there's gender fluid, there's non-binary, there's this and that, blah, blah. Diverges from the one like binary like routes that humans walk on, and then there are more things that we have to get used to, and it's more accepting, it's more letting go of our, I don't know, like
our presuppositions,
right, like the little safe bubble that we used to have,
the comfort zone.
And when you're woke, you're supposed to accept that, because it's more people that are gonna go through injustices.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the words? Struggling with my English right now.
It's okay.
Really
we'll put subtitles.
But it's more people that we have to take care of, more people that we have to back up, more people that we have to make sure they're included in the society. And so I feel like it gets harder, and this is why we go into the more like extreme side with time. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, like, because the stronger the wall is, or the stronger the barricade is, the harder you gotta force to break it down, right?
No.
Maybe not. Okay.
It's more that it used to be we only fight for women and gays.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's we have to fight for trans people. Now
mm-hmm.
we have to fight for non-binary. Now we have to fight whatever.
Yeah.
For more people. And it gets more, I guess, from the other point of view, it just gets more eccentric. You know what I mean?
What does eccentric mean?
It gets more crazy.
Oh, okay.
Eccentric literally means getting away from the center.
Oh,
so
I see.
It's crazier because it diverges even more from our
yeah.
norms, and there's also the rise of right wings and then more extremists like conservatives, blah blah.
Yeah. So
not only do we have to include more people, but we also have to fight harder against the other side, quote unquote.
I think, like, through my perceptions, is, well, I'll start with this. For one, the more that problems arises and you still have, like, relatively the same, like, group of people dealing with those problems, like, sure, it grows, it shrinks, and it grows, but I would say it's relatively the same size through the years.
Mm-hmm.
The more problems that arises, the more spread thin you end up being. So there's not as much, like, you have to fight so many fronts, but you still have the same amount of people, right? But there's that. Which to me, I'll say, like, especially as someone, it's ironic for someone who's very multitasking, and I like to do a lot of things as much as I can, as fast as I can. I think a focus is more beneficial if you have a very limited resource. So I'll say that. Also, in terms of, like, problems that arises and new problems that woke people have to fight for, it's not clear to me that some of those things are immediately worth the effort that's put into it. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying that it's not worth the fight. I'm just saying it's what's weird to me is there's things that are, maybe it's just me, but there are things that are just unclear that we're putting so much effort into.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can understand why people that I don't think I am the only one that's confused by that. And the thing is when you start asking questions about these things, and of course you're gonna get those assholes that have, like, a very, like, narrative driven questioning where they want a specific answer so they can be right. But people that are genuinely curious, when you start asking questions, a lot of people have trouble answering questions for it to make sense. Like, if I ask, especially when it comes to things like neurologically, like things that are brain related, like, I don't understand, for example, gender fluidity. I really don't understand that. I'm very curious. I've got two people. Well, my first gender fluid friend is trans, but still going, like, gender fluid as well. So there's and I've talked to her a lot, and there's still a confusion there, right? And I don't hate her for it. I don't chastise her for it. I don't judge her for it. It's, if I want to understand, it's harder for me to get those answers. So it's harder for me to take a stauncher stance because I don't know what I'm signing up to. And again, I don't judge her for it, and I don't see her, and I respect her for who she is, like the friend that she's been, for the last, since 2020, for the last 4 years. 5 years. So I can understand that, like, ideally you get a lot of people to fight those injustices, but how do you grow that resource to fight those injustices if the injustices aren't necessarily clear, right? Plus you got to deal with the people that are already prejudiced towards the complete opposite, right? So it's very confusing to me, and that's why I have trouble indulging and conversing into that, especially people that are very, very, very like staunch in their opinions. I love listening to, like, far left, far right people that with strong opinions. I love listening to them. People that talk a lot, love listening to them. Having a conversation with them, no. I love hearing redneck conservatives. Okay, it's like a dark, it's not the same thing, but it's along the lines of like a dark humor comedy show,
right?
A bit, and I'm just like, you feel bad listening to it, but you're just like, oh, it's so good, But having a conversation with them and trying to find like some middle ground, and it's
never in my life.
Not only is it not worth the effort, is you legit don't go anywhere. Like, you have to work really, really hard so you can build a bridge to then start talking. But that's why I'm a middle fence sitter according to your woke scale.
Yeah. I think, to me, I mean,
I don't think I'm stupid though. I think I
No, you're not. But, and I don't know how biased I am with that, because to me, the root of every problem is that humans don't have empathy anymore. I really do believe, like, it's such a core root of everything, like, because we don't understand each other anymore. We don't want to. We're also in a society that pushes us to be more individualistic.
Yeah. I think individualistic is a word. Everybody knows what individual means. Everybody knows what holistic means. So
I want to know the actual word, though.
People can make sense of it.
Okay, so individualistic. Okay, so it is individualistic, which means
so
characterized by individualism, independent, and self-reliant. Individualistic cultures where individuals strive for self-realization. So we're pushed into that, I feel like. In more like Western cultures.
I'll agree with that second statement. The first statement about the loss of empathy, I think I can understand getting to that conclusion. I think there's a bit more nuance to it. I think we still have the same empathy, but we empathize more with our tribe than because we of course it depends on what empathy means to us. Like, does empathy mean like just in a vacuum like putting yourself in someone else's shoes, or does it mean just feeling everything from everyone, right?
Yeah.
No matter who they are,
right?
But
I'm biased because I'm like that.
Okay, like I'm an empath.
I would never say these words out loud.
We got our answer.
I'm not even sure it's an actual thing.
Empath?
Well, yeah. What does it mean to me? It's like what is it?
You kind of vicarious.
I thought empath was the people who can like feel the spirits. Because like I always watch those videos and I'm like, I'm an empath. It's like, so we're welcoming Chloe today. She's an empath. What do you feel? Oh, I feel like the presence of like a little 14-year-old boy. I'm like, I'm not an empath.
Hey, no, that's not what an empath. Or maybe I'm wrong, but.
Or maybe it's just like it's another meaning of the word.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm doing my little hair routine.
See, that's why I don't like wokeism, because they keep changing words. But to my understanding, empaths is kind of like an extreme reaction of empathy, where people can vicariously live emotionally through someone else. Like,
I'm definitely that.
But I don't know if it means, like, let's say you lose a parent, like your friend loses a parent, like it does being an empath mean that you feel like, I feel like sympathy is more like you feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
But the empath part is like, is it that you're reminded of the idea of you yourself losing a parent, or you're reminded of, or you just
feel for them?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Empathy, actually, I don't know what M is a root, because like sympathy, compassion, empathy. Sympathy is you feel with, or like you suffer with, actually. Empathy, what is M?
You want more water while you look that up?
Yeah.
What's the magic word?
Please.
Thank you.
Anyway, so empathy is to be able to feel somebody else's feeling. So it's not just like, and that's my point. You shouldn't have to go through or to be reminded personally of like something you went through in order to empathize with somebody else.
Do you have, like, how about, okay, so I watched there was this I think a X Factor video where I'm going somewhere with this. There was an X Factor audition where this guy sang this breakup song, but he sung it with the context of how he lost his friend. And that got me bawling as fuck. I've never lost a friend, but I guess if I think back of it in hindsight, it's just what saddened me was, well, two things actually. Like, I want to say, like, I felt for him, but I don't know what that means. Like, if I like rationalize it, it's like, oh damn, it would really suck to lose a friend, and then especially like when you sing about it.
I'm sorry, I'm putting on my little creams. I don't know if that's okay.
That's fine. It's not like it's recorded video format.
I'm really sorry. This is how, I have a cream for everything, so yeah. Go ahead.
These things age you. Huh? That's why I don't use anything. I just use water.
No, but this is for my allergy.
Oh, true. That's why we look the same age. Actually, I probably look younger.
You need to shut the fuck up, because I look like I'm 16 right now. You look like you're 40.
Did you say 16 or 60?
16, obviously.
Oh. I'm just like, that's an insult on you. I was gonna agree with you, but that's not nice.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, everyone has empathy, okay? Yeah. Everyone is. You're gonna receive emotions from somebody, and you can or not relate to it, and you're still gonna see what that person is feeling, and it'll resonate with you.
Yeah.
Whether or not it reminds you of a personal event, it's just like we all have empathy. Especially when the demonstrations of the feelings are so grand, like somebody singing, and then it hits you even more because there's words, and then there's a sad music. Like everything is united for you to really feel that emotion. Mm-hmm. But the thing with like what you were saying, where you don't understand why, and so you have a hard time standing up for the cause when you don't understand why, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't know either what it's like to be gender fluid. I don't know what it's like to be trans, whatever. But because I see somebody suffering from all that, I'm like, that's shit. And it makes me want to stand up for it just because I see them suffering. I'm like, that's enough for me to want to stand up for these people. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I have... Here's, I guess, somewhat of my thoughts on that. And we actually talked about this, I don't think you were there, but during the Thanksgiving, were you there when we went around the room and we talked about what we think our biggest red flag is? Okay. So mine.
Somebody told me about this, but no, I wasn't
it might
there.
have been me.
What was it for? No,
It was
at Jules, right?
Yeah, Jules, and it was at
and, like,
Thanksgiving.
Friends.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't there.
Like a bunch of people I didn't know, and we just went all around.
And
it was fun
went
though.
super deep for no reason.
Yeah, and I loved it. But here's the thing: I feel super guilty whenever like
Literally.
I turn the conversation. So I went to a friend's birthday party on Friday, and from 7 to like almost 4 a.m.
Okay. Oh my god, you have such a social life.
I know. But at the end, it turned pretty much towards a therapy session, and okay. I'm like, classic. I am like I love.
Yeah.
But then there was this girl listening to us, like it was me and a guy just talking about. We were talking about like therapy and things, and first time we meet.
Yeah.
And this very, we were having like deep exchanges, and this girl was just like there, and then I turned towards her because I'm just like I'm having the time of my life having this back and forth, but she's right there just like she was talking before, and then you just shut the fuck up for like the last like hour and a half, and I turned to where I'm just like, I'm so sorry, like if this is boring. She was like, no, this is, incidentally she was like, no, it feels like I'm listening to a podcast, and I'm like, what are the chances?
You're like, oh my god, it's a sign.
It's a sign. I am a podcaster. But no, sometimes I worry that the things that I like to, I guess maybe in the sense of you liking to talk about wokeism and shit like that, like I feel worried that it won't, not only that it won't be as exciting for other people to talk about, but also might even bore or make people uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. To me, like psychology, super interesting. Mm-hmm. But no, so my red flag that I put on myself is that I can come off as like I don't care. There's a specific word for it. Give me a second.
Apathetic?
No, not apathetic.
Apathetic. I said apathetic.
Yeah. Like I said, we're gonna put subtitles. You're spitting some fucking jargon, right? Not jargon, you gibberish, alright? Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what you're saying when I'm listening to the recordings. It's insane.
Is that true?
No. I can very much tell.
You can't joke about this, okay? Because I'm very insecure about my English.
Yeah, and I'm making it very, very like a safe space.
You have to tell me when I say the wrong word, though.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I do. I'll ingrain it in your memory.
Okay, because you're talking as if like I've been saying crazy nonsense, and you've just been like. Mm-hmm,
yeah, you know why I'm saying that? Because it's funny to me to see your reaction when I say that. Because you're like, really?
I know, because I'm really so insecure about it.
I'm trying to get you to chillax a bit. Take a chill pill, bruh.
So okay, that's my you're like anxious about. I don't know what exactly, but you're anxious.
I don't know what it is, but it actually like honestly doesn't matter. But for me, I see you.
And for me, it's like being able to properly.
Converse.
Fuck. In like a formal English.
Tough. It's so tough to be structural with this because sometimes you bring stuff up and I just want to like spread that way. I just want to go that way. Like there's so much I could say about that. But try to keep it. Already we went from fat phobia to just general.
I know, yeah.
so we're gonna try.
You knew you were gonna have to talk about this. If you have me here.
Yeah. Better at the start than.
Set the boundaries.
Is that webcam 60 FPS? It's insane. Nice.
What is happening?
It has a high frame rate. Anyways. It really doesn't matter. It just surprised me.
What does that mean?
Higher frame rate? So you know how a motion picture is just a lot of frames, very quick in succession? The FPS is frames per second. So typically in movies, it's 24 frames per second. In video games, it's either, well, it used to be 30 frames per second, and now a good FPS is like 60 frames per second. But like for motion picture like this, 24 to 30 FPS is
Yeah, I thought the base
normal.
was 24.
For movies, yes.
Okay.
But you probably noticed on YouTube, there's a setting when you change the resolution to have 60 FPS, and that's like, it's very, very smooth. But then
how do you know? How did you see here?
It just feels super smooth. Like, it doesn't seem choppy. Also, it's far away, so I can't really tell, but I think I noticed while I was editing too that there was things that it just felt so smooth. Like, you don't see any smear. If I go like this, yes, but like, there's no smear of my hand.
Right.
You know, there's no blur. Anywho,
camera talk.
We're talking about empathy, or that my red flag is insensitive. I think is the word I want to use. I can come off as insensitive because if someone comes up to me with a problem and I don't match, like when they come to me with the problem and to me that problem doesn't have the gravity of how they're reacting, it's hard for me to empathize, because in the back of my mind, if I may just be blunt, it's like, it's silly.
Yeah.
Why you're crying over spilt milk in my head. And I don't think I'm unjustified for thinking that. One of the people there told me that, like, you just have to be there for them. And there's truth for that, in that. But also in my head, like, if you coddle someone for, I'm not meaning coddle in a negative way there, but if you coddle someone off of spilled milk, that kind of enables, maybe even encourages them to continue being, again, I don't mean this in a negative way, but to continue being weak when it comes to those situations, right? And
like with kids, kind of.
Yeah. But you see that in the adult world too.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
It's like, I also think that people can be so much stronger than a lot of them lead on, and it kind of ties into these problems that are appearing here and there. It's like, I started asking myself, and in no specific situation, but I started asking myself, like, is the problem really out there, or is it you having trouble adapting to that, right? And it's not clear to me in these situations what is the right thing, like what is the case. So just going back to like empathy, I think I'm very, there was a point in my life where, and in recency, where I thought I was properly like sociopathic, because what did I say? I'm a goddamn sociopath. Or I used to be a goddamn sociopath or a psychopath. But
psycho manipulator.
Sociopath.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought I was sociopathic because a lot of people were feeling things that I was just like, okay, big deal, you know? Then I realized I just feel things for what I think are... It's very biased, but I feel things for what I think is more important, you know? We've talked about, like, the biggest thing for me is, like, death and that loss, because to me that's...
That's fine.
To me, it's... you can't resolve that. It's like something is gone and it's there's no solution. All there is acceptance, right? And that is the ultimate, like, nothing can be changed there. The only thing that can be changed is within yourself. And it's just not clear to me that a lot of other problems, I feel like a lot of, maybe I'm rambling a little bit, but like I feel like a lot of people put that intensity, or the intensity I put towards death, towards things that to me are a bit more trivial. So in those situations, it's harder for me to connect with that. And yeah, maybe I am slightly sociopathic, but
no, it's just that you have a very like fact and what do you say?
Fact and point?
I think
matter of fact. I should also say, like, there's, I guess, smaller things.
You're very Cartesian is.
Oh yeah, Cartesian. Because when I think Cartesian, I think of the like statistics, not statistics, but
Cartesian is to be very like logic, rational, methodological.
No, that's not the word. Methodical.
Yeah.
I'm pragmatic.
Yeah.
But I am also I think I'm very, very emotional too. I know I'm very, very emotional. It just I have a good control over it, I would say.
You can be emotional and be more like logic or like fact driven. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You handle problems with facts and like how it is rationally and what is, just like pragmatic Cartesian.
There's truth to that, but I'm very considerate of people's feelings too. As much as it probably it doesn't show. Like, but that's emotions are a fact.
Yeah.
And if a certain word, like when I'm thinking like solution oriented, whatever, like problem solving, I'm considering all the factors, right? And the complexity of emotion is a big factor in that. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not gonna talk to people like we're robots and like we're computing stuff. I know that there's quite a few barriers emotionally speaking, and even like biases and stuff like that. Like there's so many things to consider there. I'm realizing that while I'm talking about that, I'm sounding like I don't have any emotions, and I'm just like being very analytical. I gotta analyze.
You rationalize everything, or like you transform everything into like a very like logistical
thing,
which is fine. But I mean, it's normal that it's harder for you to understand something when the person in front of you doesn't react like you at all, facing a problem. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when it's so logic for you what the solution is, like it's obviously harder.
I feel like a lot of things too, it's like, when you go through something, like let's say you went through like a terrible breakup when you're 16 or whatever, and then 10 years later your friend is going through a breakup and they're just like reacting the same way you did. I assume, no, I was gonna say like most people would be a bit more like nonchalant about it, or like they wouldn't put that same numbers. It's like, dude, I did that when I was 16, like grow the fuck up type of deal.
I see exactly what
It's not targeted, I swear.
I don't know, we don't know anyone specific who acts like that.
No. But I also see there's a lot of people that because they went through that like 10 years ago, they'll be so much more understanding. So it's very much a flip of a coin to see if like how someone else reacts. I guess there's no right answer there. All I know is I'm very emotional. I just compartmentalize things. Not even. I just have I would say I just have a good control over my emotions overall. Because they're there. I just put a hold on it. I had to do that my entire life, like with my wrath. with my rage, my fiery blaze.
I don't want you guys to see how much wrath I have in me.
Yeah.
Is that what I wrote?
No. What you wrote was I don't want you guys to witness my inner wrath or something like that. Something like that. For context, I really want for more context, I have a history of anger management issues, of which I think for the most part I have very, very good control over. However, it's still, I believe, a core to my being, and I would like to go to a rage room. But I was scared to bring people with me because I'm afraid that people will see this delicate flower unleash his inner wrath. So.
Cringe. More.
See, I'm being cool with the kids, changing my cadence.
I have a lot of wrath too.
Oh, that's a surprise. Dude.
Lately, my friend has been making fun of me because so when I'm mad.
Oh, yeah.
This is not normal.
I'm old.
Every time.
I can't run anymore. It's cold
There's
out.
There's a problem. I don't run either. I don't have whatever is happening.
Just wait until
I'm not
you get 40 years old.
You are, but
Once you
Yeah,
reach your
like,
40s, it's
still.
gonna.
Oh my
Tabarnak.
God, Jade,
Keep going.
so-
Yeah, you have a friend, which is a lie.
Oh, I
But
have
go
a.
ahead.
I have a lot of anger management issues. I know this is so weird, but I feel like it's a good thing I wasn't born into a, like, alpha male gigantic guy. Because I'd have a hard time. Good thing I'm a itsy bitsy woman.
I feel like I don't think there's any winners there. Like
No,
it's
because,
either
like-
one you just express yourself overtly without any limits, and the other one is repression.
Yeah,
So you
but
just,
then I would, like, my way of feeling, like, my preferred way
Mhm.
of expressing my anger
passive
would be,
aggressivity.
no, it would be to hurt someone, right? So if I was a guy, I would definitely beat up people immediately. Ugh, what would I give to be a man?
As
I wish I could beat up people. Oh my god.
so a bit more context on my front. I used to get into a lot of fights, and they were very much rage induced. And I've learned that there are so many better ways to deal with things.
Oh, for sure.
And sometimes it's just accepting defeat and walking away, even
No,
though
no,
there's
for
injustice.
I do not condone violence.
So, I like it's not it's very much unclear until like your life is on the line. You know,
Yeah.
not to say that necessarily my life was on the line, but I was chased by a dude with a hatchet. So that's when I was like,
oh my
hell no.
god.
Um,
That is crazy.
high school gang wars.
I need the lore of
Pick
that
your-
one day.
Trick.
We need the lore of that one day.
I already gave you the lore of that. No?
No.
Okay, well.
Never heard that before.
Should I say it now?
Sure, yeah.
So once upon a time, when I was a wee lad, I say high school, but it was actually at the start of CEGEP, which is a community college here in Quebec. Essentially.
I don't think community college is CEGEP. Community college is just... Oh!
You know what community college is? Is
Okay, no, never
cheap
mind.
ass college,
Yeah, it's
which
cheap
is CEGEP.
University. To me,
Yeah.
I thought community college was at the level of university, but then
Yeah, it
college
is.
before university, you know?
No, college and university are synonymous in the U.S.
In
and
the
pretty much
US.
anywhere outside of
Yeah.
um,
Anywhere outside of Quebec.
yeah, but CEGEP is like a it's very much like it's, from my understanding, it's pretty much community college. It's just like an accessible way to get an
No, it's
education.
like in between.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily like you can go straight to university.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
You don't have to go to CEGEP. You can be a 17-year-old uni student, or even a 16-year-old if you're a late bloomer.
Everyone in France goes to uni at 17.
Okay, well, normally I feel people like graduate at 18. So, well, I say normally. Normally in the U.S. and like probably most of Canada.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know you could skip CEGEP.
No, yeah.
I thought you could do like
It helps.
1 year only, but then
No, it helps. It helps get you the things that you need.
yeah. No, for
And you
sure.
can be in university to get those specific courses, like the springboard type of things or whatever. It
I
just
think
costs so
CEGEP
much
is-
more.
Yeah, no, I think CEGEP is
Oh.
so beneficial.
Oh yeah, I was
Like-
paying $150 per semester. Well, back in my day, 40 years
No,
ago.
but like not money wise, but just in general, because like
Yeah.
you're 16 and you're supposed to choose what you're gonna do for the rest of your life. Like it's such an important choice.
yeah, and you
And
don't have to
and you have more choices in CEGEP than you do in high school, right?
in high school. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then
It's very much like university.
Yeah.
Like you pick your program
Yeah.
and you can have like
no, that's
little
so good. That's
complimentary
so good.
courses.
I wish I had that.
So once upon a time, we were at this old bar called The Flicks, which was the most ratchet ass pool bar in our little hometown.
The Gats.
The Gats. Well, a specific part of the Gats, but I don't want people to dox.
Because Gats is so big, so
It is big. It's separated into 3 districts.
okay, yeah, sure.
But I said Flicks, so those who know, those who know,
You
know.
also gave the exact name of the bar.
yeah. So it happened in a parking lot. As context, I would get into a lot of fights with different groups of people because I was an individual of pure wrath. I was a social justice warrior before. Okay,
Okay.
when someone called me Chinese, oh,
Oh yeah.
little did I know,
Hello.
I was Chinese. I'm Filipino. Then
But
my mom was
just for
just like, "Well, no, you're not Filipino. You're actually Chinese." I'm like,
But just for the principle of it, like, because it's racism.
Yeah.
So whatever. Whether
Honestly,
you're
you
Chinese or
can
not.
call me Chinese all you want. Now I think it's funny. Like racism is such a far away thing, at least for me. In my case, like towards me. Nevertheless, getting into a fight. Essentially, it was like two groups of friends, and two of those friends had like massive beef.
Were
They
you
got
speaking French or in English?
in French. Yeah. Québécois.
That is
actually.
even more comical to
Québécois.
me.
Québécois, actually.
I can't imagine you specifically like fight in French.
Well, you don't fight in French.
No, 'cause,
You
like, you're
use your
so...
fist.
No, I know, but you're so
English.
Anglo to me.
Well, it was a different time. It was like it's like pretty much 10 years ago. Age drop. Actual age drop. But no, so it was very much in between like two people. And we're in the parking lot. It was during the night. And these two individuals, they got into fights like in class, like when we were in high school, because it was fresh out of high school. And they would get into fights like in the classroom, right? I remember a specific moment where they were just like, we were doing like team projects, and then all of a sudden, all you hear is just like, "Oh, tes lunettes," because they both had glasses. So, and then they just started like
They say,
beating...
"Oh, tes lunettes."
Yeah, because you can't hit a person with glasses.
Oh, this is too funny.
Yeah. So, "Oh, tes lunettes," and then they started just beating each other up, and we had to like stop them and all that.
Oh my God.
So that happened.
Oh, tes lunettes is just too funny.
And that...
Which means take off your glasses, but haute is such a formal thing. I don't think I've ever heard this word, ever.
It's very Québécois.
Said by someone like
Haute
from this
lunettes.
generation. Quebec, I love Quebec. They're so cute.
What a so condescending.
Somebody,
Look at these little Québécois. Oh my gosh,
I'm
they're so
sorry.
cute.
No, you guys are so cute, but not in this context. In this context,
Oh,
it's just-
lunettes.
somebody tells me this if we're about to fight. I'm just like, beat me up, go ahead.
With my glasses,
Go.
shatter them in my eyes, blind me.
And
Actually,
just like it's too funny.
I deserve a punch in the face.
It's like
Actually,
somebody tells you, remove thy glasses. Like somebody tells you
remove
that
thy
before-
spectacles.
Yeah, somebody tells you that before you're about to fight.
Yeah.
It's too comical. It's too funny. I'm
It
sorry.
is. It
Like
is.
I want to be
But-
considerate, but it's just
No,
too
no, 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 no.
funny.
Like, it was so, like, obviously, it was like a shock, like, what, okay. And then they're actually fighting, and then
Yeah.
you have to, like,
That
react
is
to that.
intense.
But in hindsight, yeah, that's really fucking funny. But there's, like, it's
But no,
funny
but it's
because
natural, right?
there's a respect there.
Yeah, no, I
You
love
know?
that. I love that,
It's, like, it's a duel.
Gentleman fight.
Yeah. So, yeah, there was some animosity there. And then, essentially, we were hanging out, and they weren't like my in high school. Believe it or not, I had a lot of friend groups that I just bounced off of.
A social butterfly.
Yes, that's me.
Aww.
But I was hanging out with those guys one night, and then his group, the other guy's group, like come in, and then they start like yelling blah blah blah, and then the two people that fought earlier started pushing each other, started fighting, started to push to separate them, and then more came in, and then it just became pretty much like a little gang fight in the parking lot.
God.
And it all stopped when someone brought a hatchet
That's crazy.
on the other side.
Like,
and
where did it come from?
Oh, dude, come on.
You
It's
guys
gat
are
trash.
I was like, they're butchers, Quebec butchers.
Yeah, we're
With the
proper
flannel.
Canadians. Yeah, we're all wearing flannels, with our straps and everything. No, some guy came with a hatchet and then just started running after us. So we just all spread.
That's insane.
Yeah. And that was a scary time.
So you go back home with like all bloody and you're like, Mama.
No, I didn't. I wasn't
I did it
bloody.
again.
I got a few bruises. Mama, I did it again. There was also this one time where I got into a fight. Okay, this was when I was younger. There was like this tree overpass thing. Anyways, it was a cool fort kind of dealio, but another kid wanted it, and I was just like, no, this is mine. And then, so there was this thing, this little event at the school where my mom would volunteer for. So she happened to be on the school grounds,
Oh no.
and this kid, we get into a fight, and this kid grabs a fucking branch, like a proper branch, and is just beating me with it. And I hear, like, I'm on the floor just getting beat up by this kid with a branch, like
How
a proper
old were you?
10, 11 or something like that.
Not bad,
Yeah.
right?
And he's just beating me, and I hear my mom in the distance being like, JJ, leave him alone. And I'm just like, Mom, I'm the one getting beat up right now. Because I would always get into fights. So she's just like, this kid is looking for trouble all the time. Like, I was a terrible kid.
Oh no. JJ.
which leave him alone. I'm just getting like,
She's like, JJ, stop being a fucking victim.
Yeah.
Leave him alone. You're like bloody on the floor.
Yeah, I'm just like, Mama, I did it again.
Cut the crapola.
Imagine my mom, all I hear in the distance as I'm dying by this kid beating me up. Cut the crapola!
Just stop it right now. I'm sick of that shit.
My mom, don't swear. Okay?
Okay,
she's a woman of the Lord. But no, so a little context. I don't know if this is gonna make it in, but yeah. There you go. Now you know that I was.
Imagine you're like volunteering, like, I'm not.
It's very much that
brand.
because I
Oh my god.
I never got suspended because I always got the shit beat out of me. So I was the type of kid that would pick fights with 3 dudes.
Okay.
Right? They stopped bullying me because I would just like.
You were fight blind. You had fight blindness.
Oh yeah, I was blinded by rage. But like my friends, I was hanging out with like the losers, okay? And my friends, especially my friend who was autistic, like he was proper autistic, okay? And they would make fun of him, and I'm just like, bam, beat one guy, and then I just get rammed by 5 dudes. Poor wording, but I just get beat up by 5 dudes. So yeah, that was my past. And once you go through those things, it took me a while, but once you go through those things, you realize it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
what's worth it is, at least, especially now as an adult, is just to civilly de-escalate from there. You don't want, like, a good punch could kill you, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not for violence. I really don't think it solves things. I think it's a man issue.
Dude, girls when they fight is the scary shit. Pulling hair, that's dishonorable. A proper cat fight is dishonorable, okay?
Fight, but like, I don't know. I feel like we were raised.
Oh yeah,
thinking,
more
like,
demure.
Like girls don't fight. Yeah, we have to be demure.
Yeah.
But it's just like when I get mad, that's the raw like potion.
Yeah.
It's to beat things up.
Yeah.
But I get mad really easily for shitty things. Like the other day I was at work. That's so shameful. Oh my god. The hole puncher.
Yeah.
Okay. Literally like a hole puncher for little sheets. Like I take my shit of paper and I hole punch. You know, just like the most basic thing. It wasn't working, and I was trying to fix it. And I was like, ah! Why is it not working? And I'm like, I fucking hate you, you piece of shit. And then I bang it into the wall. It dents the wall.
Yeah, okay.
And it does not fix it. So it's just like my instinct is always like I want to hurt this thing. I want to hurt it. And whenever like I'm mad, the other day I was looking for cookies. Okay, I wanted my cookie mix, and I did like 6 different stores because I couldn't find it, and I was so pissed. And because I want to feel pain, I want to feel somebody's pain. I'm mad. The only way to get rid of it is I need to hurt myself. And so when I'm mad, I bite my hand. So like so many times I'm in the middle of a very public space and I'm like, and it's so ridiculous because I'm 23 and everyone can see me and I'm like,
age drop.
Oh yeah, sorry. And I'm beep and I'm like this and I'm 20 beep. And like I need to get this out. Like when I was a kid, I had a ruler, a plastic ruler, dedicated for when I needed to break things. I was like, yeah.
You know,
or I have this thing that I need to break. I need to like somebody needs to pay for it. my anger.
You need a rage room.
I need a rage room. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a badminton player.
Bro, what type of drop flex? It's like he has a rage room. I'm an athlete.
No. But when I was playing and I was mad, I would hit my this what's it called? My shin.
Your calf.
My calf with my racket, and I have like for like 6 months straight, I would have like gigantic bruises on my like 24/7.
Jesus.
Because I would play
self-harm to the other level.
I know. I think I have a picture of it. I'll show you.
You can use that in court for domestic abuse case.
No, but I was like, I don't know why I have this, and I need to get rid of it because it's not great. Because there's nothing to calm you down. Because like you might, like I'll hurt myself. it won't. It's still here. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. If it's anything like me, it's always gonna be there. It's just. Jesus Christ, that's recent too.
And that's what?
That's like relatively recent too. It's not when you were a kid. This was like probably
no,
2 or
no.
3 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I play badminton.
Okay. Yeah. It's very. It's fully there. This
very purple.
That's black, dude.
It would just constantly be there.
You want to show the crowd?
It would constantly be there. It's very like. Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. Physical abuse.
Bruise.
Domestic abuse.
This is from April 2nd, 2022.
Oh shit, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Just around the corner.
I'm telling you, I bite my hand. I mean, even now, like,
yeah.
the cookie thing was like 2 weeks ago.
What I was doing in Sejap was, I used to... So, I never did any, like, punching bag stuff.
Yeah.
And then one of my buddies, he was like... I don't know, he just invited me to the... I used to do CrossFit first, and then... I know. I used to do CrossFit first, and then my buddy was just like, hey, like, oh, I see you do CrossFit. Do you want to come to the gym with me? I'm just like, oh, whatever. And his entire thing is pretty much just, like, he does a warm-up, and then he just, like, goes on the fucking punchy bag for, like, hours. And then I'm like, okay, well, that sounds boring as fuck. He's just like, well, let's see. Give it a try. So he shows me, like, the proper technique. Also, I got into fights a lot, so I did not have the proper technique. When I was into fights, I was like, you know, it was not controlled.
Just hitting into the mask.
Yeah. But like, once you're doing like techniques and you're just like, you're in it, and then you know, let's say there's someone that you're not too favorable towards, and you start picturing them on the punching bag, and you're just like, plaff, you know, you try to punch right through it, and that's. It released quite a lot of... It helped me. It was an outlet, you know? In the same way, like, right now, I don't get as mad because, like, I just...
Okay.
Yeah, she'll be fine. I think she's watching Grey's Anatomy or something. Okay. So, I don't get as mad. It's just, I guess, more like exposure therapy type of things. You just learn how to... passively control it, I guess. But me going for a run helps a lot, you know. It exhausts you, it gets the blood flowing, and plus I see myself when I'm really, really stressed or really, really mad at something. Oh, I sprint. I'm running away from my problems now. Which loops all the way back to body image. Honestly, we went a bit
but
too
the
far.
one thing about that is I agree that it's probably the healthiest way of externalizing all these feelings, but when you're mad, like, on the spot, you don't necessarily have access to all these things.
No. So
that's, like, if you want, like, an immediate, like, I don't know how
so it's very much upon repetition and just knowing, like, ingraining that the options are there. So you essentially have to train yourself. If it's anything like the way I've proceeded with it, is you train yourself to first acknowledge how you're feeling. It's gonna sound super therapy-ish, but like first you acknowledge how you're feeling, and then once you go there, it's kind of like a cascade of what's next, right? And if you've established beforehand, and the more you do it, the more solid that step-by-step process becomes. It just like flow states into itself. It goes from, well, at least for me, it goes from acknowledgement to if I were to oversimplify it, it goes to acknowledgement to de-escalation, right? And I start using my tools, let's say, to calm down or whatever. Like I use it's a very same structure for my anxiety, right? So my anxiety and my anger both have the same skeleton of how I usually deal with it when I'm in the moment. I don't always get there, but it's very much for me, it's just reminding myself what is my goal, right? Because that should trump this uncontrollable feeling, right? Plus, I have this conviction to want to be in control of my entirety, and it's very hard, especially for if you're an emotional person. But just seeing that progress, it helps me understand that I can do it. I don't know if that answers your question in any way.
Yeah.
But it's upon repetition. It's just doing. I learned the term neuroplasticity recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Recently?
Yeah, recently.
Interesting.
I knew what it was.
I'm gonna blow my nose. Wasn't as bad.
Did your nose squeak when you spoke?
What?
Did your nose squeaked when you spoke?
When I release. Wait. When I'm like. And you're like. I didn't know you guys could hear it. I thought it was just in my head.
If you're listening for it, it's hilarious.
Because.
It's like.
Because I'm like. My nose is like this, and then.
Yeah.
And like.
And then because you're kind of like exhaling at the same time, right?
No, it's like sucking effect.
Oh, it's a suction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like
squeak. What was I saying before this disruption?
By the way, I hope Jules is not gonna show up first. I harassed Lilith and I told her, Lilith, you better come here before Jules.
Oh, it's true. It's coming up, eh? Okay. What was I saying?
Neuroplasticity.
Yes, I learned this the other day. I knew I was just curious why repetition, like forming habits, stick. Mm-hmm. Why does that? Does that mean? Obviously, I'm a 2 times dropout and I'm dumb, so I don't completely understand what that means. But I got a better understanding of neuroplasticity. It just your brain just molds to these new habits.
Didn't we talk about this?
You probably use it, but neuroplasticity. We probably talked about habits, but neuroplasticity. If you use that word, I was just like, another psych term that I don't know.
I love neuroplasticity.
Oh yeah, because you fucking brainwash yourself all the time. But like, yeah, it was really cool, and I definitely did that through the years, and it's a strong plastic now.
Yeah.
It's a very hard plastic.
No, yeah. It's very impressive. The brain is so cute. Mm-hmm. She slays. I'm kidding. The brain is very intriguing and so smart.
So, I want to end on this. We didn't really conclude anything, but I think it was...
We haven't talked at all about body perception.
No, honestly, we might save that for next time. I think specifically... I mean, the woke talk, I feel like that's the general that has to be talked about before we get into the nitty-gritty.
So next episode, body perception.
Yeah.
You didn't talk about your what's it called? Pickup line of the day.
Which I was going to end on.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. Even if you were a dude, I'd fornicate with you. Thank you for watching another episode of Jelly. We'll see you next time and talk about fat people.
And
how we should... No, that's going to be episode 4. Thank you.